right now. So there's that. Though these are some benefits that I've started experiencing ever since I left being a Jehovah's Witness. And actually, I didn't exactly just leave. As some of y'all who are Jehovah's Witnesses know, it's not that simple. I was shunned. Disfellowshipped is the proper term that they use. Now, I was disfellowshipped twice. I was disfellowshipped last when I was 24 years old. And now I'm 29, so life has really started changing and transforming, and I am absolutely thrilled by life. Now, I never felt truly authentic when I was a Jehovah's Witness. I felt like I had a facade all the time. I could never truly be myself. And especially because my father being the coordinator, we were seen to be the example family growing up. Thus, I had extreme pressure on me to be and to look perfect. Now, trauma. That's what I'll say for now. That led me then to addictions like pornography. And that was something I could never beat. I was addicted to pornography for 14 years, and I could not get out of it. I was stuck. I would pray to Jehovah. I would ask for the help of elders, and it only seemed to get worse. I even went to therapy for it, and I was having a conversation today with a life coach where therapy does focus on the past versus getting coached is the present and the future. And the therapy actually helped me continually identify myself as someone who was addicted to porn and made the problem even bigger. Thus, the vicious cycle continued. The crazy part was, once I finally completely 100% cut ties with being a Jehovah's Witness and started showing up authentically in my life, doing the things that I desired to do, starting a business, being a man of values that are consistent with my vision, which I still uphold many of the morals of a Jehovah's Witness because I don't deny that any of them are bad, although I still am who I am. If I want to listen to rap music, I'll listen to it, even though I don't listen to that much. But just having that liberty and that feeling to do it, that has shifted me. And I've actually been free of pornography for 2 years. And I would say that's like the biggest benefit that I've had thus far of leaving Jehovah's Witnesses. And the reason that I had that addiction, I traced it back, and I came to find out that I was self-soothing the pain of living a life that was not authentic to me. And that was the only way I could self-soothe. That's something called small t trauma. Whereas capital T trauma could mean someone who was physically abused or some grand thing that happened to someone that affected them. Now, small t trauma is where someone could profitably gain from something, but they were absent in it. And I felt like I was absent in true connection, true love, which is what Jehovah's Witnesses preach on. This is real love. But now that I'm out of being a Jehovah's Witness, I am not encountering people that I feel like have a facade up against them. I'm encountering real people, and they are honest with me. I'm very grateful for the partner that I have right now. That has been one of the deepest, most profound relationships that I've had, coming to know myself and her and who she is fundamentally and what our personality types are. And I'm really big on the Enneagrams, and I don't really like to say personality types. I like to say the ego that we've built as a survival tactic. That's what a personality is, because a personality is what we've learned to identify as what works for myself. And getting into self-mastery, I've entered emotional intelligence and leadership programs. That's something that I had never done when I was a Jehovah's Witness, because they advocate against things like that. They're like, You don't need anything else. All you need is Jehovah. And yes, great, but does that work? In my experience, it does not work for the desires and results that I want to have in my life. And literally, what it was preached for, like, oh, you need Jehovah more because you're stuck in these bad habits, but that wasn't the case. That just wasn't. Now, another big thing is they talk about how the world is going to chew you up, spit you out, and you're going to come running back, and so it's better not to even leave, and they use that big fear tactic so that you always stay worshiping Jehovah. Now, it's hard to see a life going back to being a Jehovah's Witness and being in that position. Now I do believe in God, and I've experienced miracles like I've never had before, actually getting the results that I want in my life now. Like, I was gifted a free vehicle and I was praying for that, and it just happened the very next few hours that I started praying for that. And it's just unbelievable, the life that I can have, because I'm no longer moving from a victim mindset, which is very dominant in the religious culture, maybe not just Jehovah's Witnesses, but I'm no longer waiting for salvation. I am salvation. I am 100% responsible for every single thing that happens in my life. Thus, I'm not waiting on no one. In fact, I'm a co-creator with God, and He wants me to create abundance for myself. And that's another thing that I'm tapping into now that I'm really seeing and extremely grateful for. Because as a Jehovah's Witness, it was not promoted to start my own business, because then I would become more infiltrated with thoughts of the world and become greedy. But I've become the best giver and the most generous person I ever have been to this freaking date. And back when I was in that mindset of a victim waiting on salvation, I was broke and had no money, and I felt like I couldn't give because I was living in scarcity. Now, these are just a few of the benefits that I'm extremely passionate for. If you have any questions, I would love to keep the conversation going. Just thought I'd get on here before I got to my next job for my business that I started myself, and I have the support of so many people rooting for me. And I am so grateful for that. Because if I was still a Jehovah's Witness, I know I would be considered, you're not humble, you're seeking things in the world, and all those labels of judgment would be thrown at me. And to finish this up, I'm going to speak on judgment just a little bit. One very useful tool that I have learned is nothing is good or bad, because to say that something is good or bad, that is judgment. Simply, I say now, what works versus what does not work. Allow God to be the judge. I'm not. Peace out, y'all.